A few weeks ago, or about a month ago, we proposed a historic investment in affordable housing. And a week or two after that, we proposed a historic investment in addressing historic inequities in our community, both using the American Rescue Plan Act funds. Today, we have another historic announcement, and we owe a debt of gratitude. We all owe a debt of gratitude to Senator Carper, Senator Coons, Representative Blunt Rochester, and our federal delegation. Without them, we would not have the opportunity to make these investments. And also a thank you to the partnership of Senator Carney, Claire DeMatteis, and those in the state government who also have these funds. And we're trying to work hand in glove to protect families across our county and state. In today's case, particularly a discrete group of particularly vulnerable residents, the pandemic has affected everyone across New Castle County, across our state and country and world, but it has affected all of us in different ways. Families with young children, single parents with young children in particular struggled. I think wealthy parents and not so wealthy parents found how challenging day-to-day life can be financially, emotionally, mentally, and for so many parents in terms of the basic sanity of 24/7 parenting. And with this historic opportunity before us, this American Rescue Plan Act funding, we must do more for those new mothers in particular, those struggling to shelter, feed, and clothe their families, those trying to find a way for their family working paycheck to paycheck. We have solutions that have been studied in this building, that have been tested for decades across our community from this building to address these problems. And what we're announcing today is a specific investment in a time-tested solution. This is an investment that past data, decades of data, tells us will have an impact on children and families in this county, on equity, and potentially on reducing violence in this county for generations to come. It will also help protect our most vulnerable mothers and our most vulnerable children. This past summer, our county created an early childhood learning committee and hosted numerous public meetings to talk about what more the county can do in early childhood learning. The committee was led by Councilwoman Lisa Diller and Councilman Ken Woods, and I also want to recognize Councilwoman Kilpatrick. Thank you for being here today. Was also active on another committee, continues to be active. But this committee on early childhood learning discussed many issues very publicly and made several recommendations to me regarding the best use of your American Rescue Plan Act funds. The members of that, several of whom are here today, if I say your name, raise your hand. Aaron Bass, who I think is in school at Eastside Charter today. Madeline Baird at Rodell. Pam Ruther of Easter Seals. Rita Landgraf, the director of, who's at the University of Delaware and is the director of the Partnership for Healthy Communities. Of course, Kirsten Olson, who you hear from shortly at Children and Families First. And Heidi Beck, the director of New Directions Early Head Start. One of those recommendations that I received from the committee was to reach more mothers pregnant with their first child living in poverty and match them with nurses who will visit the home, a national program with a local element called the Nurse Family Partnership. This recommendation particularly struck home to me. When I went into teaching shortly after college, I really wanted to be a high school teacher. And a program called Teach for America placed me in 4th grade. And I still remember when they told me I was going to be a 4th grade teacher, I said, what am I going to do in 4th grade? You make a change in kids' lives when they're in high school, because that's what I remembered from being a high school student. And I still remember those first days as a 4th grade teacher realizing that in many ways, for many of those children, I felt like it was too late. They were already, so many of my students were already behind the curve in 4th grade in terms of their basic academic skills, math, reading, science, in terms of their social, emotional growth. And it really stuck with me that we need to constantly be looking earlier, and it just so happens for any economist out there, earlier is often cheaper. Fixing these problems in kids' earliest lives is much less expensive. And so whether we're in a pandemic or not, our mothers know and learned, particularly the last year and a half, that nobody can do this alone, particularly mothers trying to raise children in poverty, in some violence-ridden neighborhoods across our city, county, and state. It really takes a village, and today is about announcing a $3 million investment, a proposal that we will bring to County Council for their approval to expand the existing Nurse-Family Partnership Program run or operated by Children and Families First here in Newcastle County. We're committed to, over the coming years, reaching hundreds more moms living in poverty, getting them enrolled in services, intensive case management, headed by a trained nurse. It's a significant investment in our shared future. The Nurse-Family Partnership, as I mentioned, has been studied time and again. You can Google it and research and find a whole bunch of really interesting stuff. 11 years ago in 2010, they did a study, a longitudinal study that looked over a 12-year period. The Archive of Pediatric and Adolescent Medicine, often highly trained public health and medical professionals, did this study and found that actually public investment in the Nurse-Family Partnership over 12 years provides a 6.8% return. It saves money for government in terms of a reduction in services you need to provide to children and families later in life. And what this means is the government got its money back and more. The program resulted, according to this study, in a reduction in food stamps, Medicaid, and other public expenditure. This isn't the only study. I think people here know many more. In fact, there might be people here who wrote some of those studies. Other studies, in fact, have shown how long-term crime reduction, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, can be tied to this program we're announcing today, the Nurse-Family Partnership. We all know that we've tried pretty much every public safety strategy under the sun, every policing strategy. Many of them work. But what I'm seeing when I look at our crime numbers every week is that no matter what we do with our policing and our public safety, it's not enough. There's much more we need to address in the social and psychological fabric of our communities. Evidence also shows that skilled nurses used by Children and Families First will improve the lives of babies and mothers, and for so many help break a cycle of poverty that has existed for generations. No one here knows this better than the CEO of Children and Families First, and I'd like to invite Kirsten Olson to the podium. Kirsten Olson to the podium to talk more about the outcomes and evidence-based models that they've been operating for years. Kirsten.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kirsten Olson. I'm the CEO of Children and Families First, and on behalf of CFF, welcome to our Newcastle County headquarters, specifically our parking lot. I'd like to recognize members of our board and staff who are here today to share in this wonderful news and whose commitment to children and families in Delaware is unmatched. And I'd obviously like to offer our thanks to Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer and his staff, and Newcastle County Council for their thoughtful process in developing recommendations for investment of American Rescue Plan Act funds. I was honored to serve on the Early Childhood Learning Committee, where we had rich conversations about the importance of investing in the care and education of our youngest county residents. And welcome Councilwoman Kilpatrick to our building. Children and Families First has been serving neighbors in our community since 1884. Our mission is to help children facing adversity on their journey to adulthood. We use proven methods to help families raise their children so they can flourish. Years of research have shown that vital social and community supports and other protective factors like good nutrition, safe, affordable housing, a healthy environment, supportive family relationships, access to quality early childhood experiences form the foundation needed for our children to thrive. Our policies and investments can help create the safe, stable environments that children need. Children's health and well-being must be an urgent priority for our pandemic recovery. This is why we believe so strongly in the power of evidence-based home visiting. Since 2010, we've offered the Nurse Family Partnership Program across Delaware, serving approximately 250 first-time moms and their children each year. Through this significant investment of Newcastle County ARPA funds, we'll be able to serve another 120 moms and their babies each year. And I'd like to tell you why this is so important. The county executive gave us a little preview. Nurse Family Partnership is a community health program that pairs registered nurses with low-income first-time moms to provide home visits during pregnancy and through the first 2 years of the child's life. Specially trained NFP nurses provide home visits to help moms set goals to improve their health, their children's health, and their family's economic self-sufficiency. During the home visits, nurses assess the health of the mother and child, screen for issues like maternal depression, domestic violence, monitor the child's developmental milestones, and refer mothers to other resources as needed. NFP is one of the most rigorously evaluated social programs across the country. Over more than 4 decades, research has consistently proven that NFP succeeds at its most important goals, keeping children healthy and safe, and improving the lives of moms and babies. The maternal health outcomes include significant reductions in pregnancy-induced hypertension, preterm births, and even maternal mortality, just to name a few. Child outcomes include an almost 50% reduction in child abuse and neglect, 67% less behavioral and educational challenges at age 6, so 4 years after the intervention, and an almost 60% reduction in child arrests at age 15, more than a dozen years after the end of the intervention. By investing in the Nurse Family Partnership, Newcastle County is investing in improving the lives of children and families in our community, which will have long-lasting effects on the health of our citizens for years to come. We're thrilled for the opportunity to partner with you to activate our vision of a community where children are nurtured, healthy, and safe, individuals are valued, and families are strong and self-sufficient. Thank you so much for investing in the science of early childhood. And now I would like to turn the podium over to MARNEDA Bailey, who leads our NFP team, who can tell you a little bit more about what our nurses do every day. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm MARNEDA Bailey, and I'm proud to serve as the Program Manager for Children and Families First NFP program. Thank you all for having me today, and many thanks to Newcastle County for its proposed investment in our work. I have the honor of working closely with our incredible team of highly trained and skilled nurses whose focus is on helping moms have healthy babies and raise healthy children. In addition to our nurses, we rely on a network of community partners to help connect eligible women to the NFP services. We collaborate with 211 Help Me Grow as a centralized program as a point of contact for referrals, but also have strong relationships with partners like Christiana Care, Westside Health, AmeriHealth, and Highmark to identify and refer first-time moms to our services. We believe that the expertise and experience that registered nurses bring are key in gaining the trust and confidence of the moms referred to our services. Our nurses help guide first-time moms through the emotional, social, and physical challenges they face as they prepare for a healthy birth. Prenatal support is the starting point, but the nurse continues to support her clients as she delivers her child and until her child turns 2, teaching skills that foster positive growth for both mom and baby. The content and focus of each visit changes over time depending upon the phase of the program, pregnancy, infancy, or toddlerhood. A typical visit lasts about an hour, focusing on a topic selected by the mom, as well as a topic selected by the nurse home visitor to facilitate client education and preparation for childbirth or parenthood. Through these visits, our moms are better prepared for the arrival of their babies, and new mothers develop the skills to care for themselves and their children. Our nurses make sure that moms learn about the full range of normal behaviors in children and develop positive approaches for coping with challenges. Connecting moms and babies to the resources they need to be successful is another key component of NFP. Through our years of experience serving the community, we have developed a comprehensive network of partners to support moms to achieve their goals. whether it's connecting moms to housing, mental health supports, education, or employment. We also ensure that babies and toddlers are connected to services they need to be healthy, like pediatric well visits, early intervention services, and more. Through the guidance of our nurses and the supports of our community, we are making a difference in the lives of children and families every day. I'd like to leave you with words from a graduate of our program. NFP helped me in many ways that I didn't expect. I received information on topics such as breastfeeding, brain development, and parent-infant bonding. These sorts of topics are not taught in school. We've graduated from the program, and with as much as my daughter has learned, I almost wish we could keep going. She's 2 years old and she can count to 20, knows her ABCs, and can draw at least 7 shapes. Maybe this doesn't seem like much, but as a mother watching her child grow, I'm amazed. For this, I have to thank this program and our nurse. Thank you to New Castle County for helping us support more first-time moms and their children to achieve long-lasting well-being.